Annyeonghaseyo! Welcome back. Today we are going to be checking out the Black Swan radio version from BTS. So, I'm pretty glad that this one exists. As much as I like the first one, and I liked it a lot, but I liked it as like an artistic piece more than as a song in itself, if that makes any sense to you. That's the type of song that I'm going to listen to late at night with a glass of wine while I contemplate life and what it all means. But it's probably not the type of song that I'm going to be rolling down my windows and jamming on the highway. But then again, you know, maybe people around me will be like, but anyway, yeah, I really like the first version. I love that they're taking this new approach. I love that they keep switching up their style and their direction, and it really feels like this album is going to be going into a darker direction. It's funny, the other day I was listening to it in my room, and my roommate walked in, and he was like, "Are you listening to classical music?" And I was just like,
"Oh, Meg, that is the least fancy thing I have ever heard."
Then another one of my roommates came in, and then another one. And by the third one, I just stopped answering them. I was just like, is that confusing that people would be listening to some violins? Come on, violins are badass. Strings are badass in general. I don't know. I can't wait to hear this. I'm assuming it's not going to be too different. I'm guessing it's going to keep the same vibe, you know, the kind of mellow, slow, because the lyrics are still going to hit it. And I got to be honest, the first time that I heard the song, the "Do Your Thing, What's My Thing" thing. Yeah, so there's no violins at all. At least not yet. This is a guitar, I think. And there's percussion. Huge change right off the bat, but like I said, it is kind of the same vibe. It's a heavy bass here, too. So that was like sort of rapping, but like honestly that was more singing than rapping. I just haven't heard enough of their music, obviously, but hearing Suga do some vocal stylings outside of just the regular rap that I've heard from him is really impressive. Like, I'm really starting to become a Suga stan, you know? Like, he's got some skills, man. Let's go back a little bit. Ready? Yeah, he's got a nice flow, man. It's just, it's sort of a rap beat, but he's singing, man. So I know it says it's V, but it actually sounds more like, oh, why isn't this letting me pause, man? I know that it says it's V, but there's clearly vocals layered underneath it, and I'm wondering if he's actually harmonizing with the rest of the group or other members of the group, or if that's him harmonizing with himself, because there's at least 3 voices happening right there. And you could hear his the most, obviously, but there's harmonies going on. I'd like to know who is involved there. Also, Jimin just coming in with that, that high-pitched, just sexuality questioning sound. So good. You know, that part right there and this part, so I guess it would be like sort of the pre-chorus and the chorus, although this song really breaks the normal structure of how most music is written. They sound a lot better in these parts, I think. They feel like they were made for this, you know. The violin parts, as beautiful as they are, the verses of this song work really, really well with it. But the do your thing, it's just got more of a flow that goes with percussion. It feels like percussion is supposed to be there. And even the lyrics itself, do your thing, just, if you don't know anything about the lyrics, you don't know anything about BTS, that could sound kind of weird at first, because that's not something that you would expect to hear over like a string quartet or an orchestra. It's just a lot more of a modern poppy phrase to use. Knowing them, it makes a lot more sense. In this version of it, I think it suits it a lot better. I'm glad they kept this like slow tempo though, because I didn't want it to change too much. J-Hope, once again, he's got my favorite part of this song. Oh, he's coming through with the weird cadences, man. It's what he's doing. It's what he does. See, you hear that? There's at least 3 voices going on right now. Ooh, Jin. Oh, I thought that was Jimin last time. I thought that was Jimin both times. Jin coming through with that high note, just like Jimin did. Dude, Jin also, another guy that's been surprising me lately, man. It's nasty. God, I love the lyrics, man. I might like them better than Fake Love. Before it finishes, I also want to say that I read all of your comments, and I read a couple articles on what BTS themselves said about this song, and I understand that it's more, I was talking about breaking out of the mold, and musically, it's just trying to express yourself in a different way than normal, and I guess the song is actually more about falling out of love with music and trying to find your way back in, feeling lonely without it, feeling like there's a hole inside of you. I was kind of thinking something along those lines when I was listening to it the first time. I guess I didn't articulate it properly. Just knowing how passionate they are about music in general is it makes the lyrics better. It makes the song better for me. I don't know if you guys watch the Classical Musicians React series on YouTube, but if you don't, you should check out that. I don't remember the name of the channel, but that channel, they did a reaction to this song, the orchestral version of this song, and the girl she just felt it so hard, and it made me feel it more, and I wanted to give them a shout out. It's a great reaction. She sheds a tear, man. She can't even talk about it without feeling the emotion, and that just kind of goes to show you how much the lyricism of BTS can go out and affect other people. I approve. Awesome. It's not too different from the original version in the sense that the feeling that you get is the same. I just think it's really well written. Personally, for me, I like the other version better, the orchestral version. I think that I'll end up listening to that one more, but only because I have a musician's brain, so I'm always breaking stuff down, so I could sit here and just listen to it and think about it and stuff like that. I will continue to look at this song as a piece of art rather than a song itself. And that to me is probably the highest compliment I could give it. I love music in general, and yes, I'm gonna blast stuff when I want to blast stuff, but at the end of the day, the stuff that impresses me the most, the stuff that I'm the most drawn to, is the artists that can create a piece of work that transcends genres, that transcends generations, that can grab anybody that has empathy and sympathy and just understands how to get in touch with their own feelings. I think that they nailed that with this song, and I'm not sure that I've heard many pop songs, if any, that can really bring out that sort of deep-seated emotional content with it. So, I mean, yeah, this was cool. Probably not as cool as the orchestra version, but at the end of the day, I just think that the song in general, both versions of it, is just phenomenal. So, sorry it took me a week to get out this second version, 죄송합니다, but I appreciate you coming back and watching it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Should be back tomorrow or the next day with some Stray Kids. So, 안녕.